Nam is confused how Dongju got the photo, while the child in the photo is not Nam. And Dongju also pretends not to know who the child is. He then explains that he got the photo while investigating Mr. Yeom and Il-do's past. When Nam wants to discuss the child, suddenly she gets a call from her grandfather and she leaves Dongju. While Dongju still doesn't believe it, because Nam threatened Mr. Yeom so that she could divorce and accompany Dongju. But now Dongju just found out that Nam might be his sister.
우리 아빠야.
Nam was invited to chat, because she wanted to divorce Hee-cheol, even though all her family was against it. Moreover, her grandfather was also willing to give her Daesan shares in return for Nam marrying Hee-cheol. But Nam felt that they both felt it was meaningless to continue the marriage. She only ran the business according to grandfather's teachings, and her grandfather knew very well how much she loved Daesan energy shares. But Nam will return all the shares she got for marrying Hee-cheol, so she asked her grandfather to give her permission to divorce. Secretary Gong was shocked when she saw Dongju sitting in her room and Dongju invited her to chat. Dongju sent a photo to Secretary Gong and saw Secretary Gong's reaction. Dongju knew that Secretary Gong recognized the child as Song Hyeon. Secretary Gong told him that the Daesan Group badge was installed by manager Yeo Sun-ho. Although Chairman Cha remembered the child, Dookie didn't know his name because they had never met. Then Dongju asked Secretary Gong to keep it a secret until the end, that the child named Song Hyeon was him. Secretary Gong promised to keep the secret, then she gave a book prepared by manager Yeo Sun-ho as a gift for Song Hyeon. He died right after telling her that, that's why Secretary Gong couldn't throw it away. Inside, there was a postcard with the results of manager Yeo Sun-ho's drawing and Secretary Gong asking Dongju to let go of Nam. And Dongju feeling that Secretary Gong and Dookie were conspiring to abandon Song Hyeon, they killed him. They thought Song Hyeon was dead, but he appeared as Seo Dong Ju. If not, why would a child who even Chairman Cha recognized only now receive a gift from his late father after so long? Dongju doesn't know what his father is like, why he died, where his birth mother is and what she is doing now. He feels like calling them all and making them confess their sins, but he holds himself back for Nam. In the car, Dongju opens the book and inside there is a postcard with picture of little Dongju that says, Song Hyeon, he will buy all the books that Song Hyeon wants. Dongju can't hold back his tears because he is so sad. Then Dongju tears the postcard and he feels that this is where their fate ends. He said this because he was afraid that Sun-ho would worry, but Song Hyeon is able to live alone well. Dongju will not try to find him because he knows that he is here. Nam gets into Dongju's car and she has taken a firm stance, because for her and her grandfather, their marriage is just business. And about the child in the photo with his father, Nam seems to know who he is, because his father once brought him home. The child is dead, and her father also died in a car accident. That night Nam could only sleep after her father read a fairy tale, but her father and mother never came. Then Secretary Gong took her to the main room. She heard her mother and Secretary Gong chatting in that room. The child's mother, and also her father were killed by Il-do. Nam heard her mother whisper, that her mother only said she wanted them to die, then Il-do really killed them. When she heard that, Nam was very scared, she felt she shouldn't wake up, so she pretended to be asleep. Dongju thought, maybe Nam heard wrong because she heard her father died. After growing up, Nam tried to find the history of the car accident and visited the police station near the crime scene, but there was no history or article about the accident. Nam felt strange because the Daesan family's son-in-law died in a car accident, but it was not covered at all. Then Dongju got a message that Chairman Cha was waiting for him. Chairman Cha invited Dongju to eat together and there was Il-do who was already sitting at the dining table. At that time Dongju remembered Nam's words that Il-do killed Sun-ho and also his mother, and because of that Dongju decided not to eat with them. He chose to meet Mrs. Pai and discuss about his mother and his sister. Mrs. Pai took him near the railroad tracks, because usually, when missing children see railroad tracks, they follow them relentlessly. So, in the past, if there was a missing child, people would search along the railroad tracks. And at that time Dongju remembered, that time he was walking on the tracks and seeing his sister, Yeonju, sitting alone. He approached her and asked her for food. Dongju was curious about what was on Yeonju and her mother's mind when they first saw Dongju. Mrs. Pai explains that they think Dongju is their savior, because Dongju saved Eugene, who was about to end everything by taking medicine. Yeonju thought her mother was dead and she was afraid to return home. However, when an unknown child approached her and asked for food, Eugene realized. While eating together, Eugene asked what his name was and Dongju answered Song Hyeon. But Yeonju changed his name to Dongju, because her mother said that if she had a younger sibling, her mother would name him Dongju. And when Eugene asked where his mother was, Dongju pointed to Eugene as his mother. Mr. Yeom contacted Ildo and told him to come to his house. It turned out that Ji Young-soo was waiting for him there. While Cookie was invited into Chairman Cho's secret safe, and Cookie was shocked when she saw her fingerprints on the box. Cookie was worried because if her father found out, she could die, and at that time Dongju would help her, but he gave her a condition. Chairman Cho invited his entire family to enjoy the meal and chat together. But Dookie told Secretary Gong to take care of it, because she needed clear mind to listen to her father. Because his eldest daughter insisted, Chairman Cho immediately spoke to the point, that the man he had invited to the house at that time was his son. They were shocked to hear that. Then Dongju explained that Chairman Cho planned to marry Ji Young-soo and register Ji Seonil as Cho Seonil. Dongju will oversee the marriage and registration of Chairman Cho's son. Dookie protested because she and her sister could not acknowledge family other than the two of them. Then Cookie said that her husband and she always wanted her father to be happy for the rest of his life, so they welcomed her stepmother and stepbrother. Cookie was very upset because her sister turned around. She thought a woman was willing to marry a man with dementia for money. And Ildo, because previously Dongju already had his ace card, he could only respect his father-in-law's decision, while Unnam would support her grandfather, as long as her grandfather did not take back Daesan Energy shares. But Taeyeon opposed his grandfather. Dongju came to Mr. Yeom's house, but Mr. Yeom was not at home. Then his wife invites Dongju to enjoy tea while waiting for her husband to come. When he sees Dongju, Mr. Yeom's wife feels that Dongju is Song Hyeon that she remembers as a child. Dongju feels that this is the first time he has entered the main house, but it feels familiar as if he has been here before. When she hears that, his wife wants to say something but suddenly her husband comes. He is angry because Dongju dares to enter the main house and even sit down without permission. Dongju feeling sorry for not informing Mr. Yeom beforehand, and they only discuss how worried she was, when Dongju fainted after eating honey cookies. It seems that Dongju is covering up their previous conversation. It turns out that Dongju came there to end the marriage contract agreement between Hee-cheol and Unnam. Mr. Yeom thought Chairman Cho was big-hearted, but it turns out he is quite petty. Because Hee-cheol wants to end the marriage, there is no need for a fine, but he still asks for a written agreement. Dongju explains that Chairman Cho likes proper termination, while the funds that Dongju laundered from his Swiss account, Mr. Yeom uses well. Thanks to Dongju, he successfully prevented the recruits from switching sides and ensured that they would never enter politics again. Chairman Cho called Seonil and Yeong-soo to tour the office, and Dongju will help Seonil learn the ins and outs of the company. Chairman Cho won't just give him a position here, so he asked Seonil to work hard. Then they said goodbye and Dongju gave the termination agreement to Chairman Cho. Then Chairman Cho told Dongju to marry Unnam after Chairman Cho and Yeong-soo got married. Dongju and Unnam must get married and the son who inherits his surname must inherit Daesan. Until Seonil is ready to lead Daesan, Dongju must protect him and his mother as his grandson-in-law. One finds an article about Yeom Sanho's car accident, truck crashes 2 cars and escapes, 3 killed, 1 critical. Only Gyeonggi Agricultural News covered it. It's too small for a newspaper company. Regardless of whether Unom is right or wrong, one thing is for sure, Ildo was indeed at the scene. That night Dongju had a bad dream and after waking up he contacted someone. And in the morning he came to Dr. Kang's house. He wanted to know about his dream last night, so he wanted Dr. Kang to help him do hypnotherapy. When Dongju was doing hypnotherapy, he saw a doll that was shaking. The doll was in the car behind. It turned out that the car behind was driven by Ildo. Suddenly a truck hit their car, and his mom and dad fainted. The car almost fell off the guardrail. When the man in the back car tried to save them, he was approached by the truck driver and gave him a DNA test report. The report said that Yeom Sanho and Chu Song-hyun were biologically related. The truck driver said the rest was up to Ildo. And at that time Ildo approached them and saw Dongju, who was scared because the door couldn't be opened. He asked Ildo for help, but Ildo got back into his car. He drove his car right behind their car and then Ildo hit their car until their car and Ildo's car fell off the cliff. Dongju found out that Ildo killed them all.